So the point of the tender, the aim of the tender, is to deliver impartial energy advice to households that fall into hard to reach and hard to treat categories. So to offer a little bit more explanation about that, hard to treat are going to be households that may be very old. They might be graded listed properties. These are houses that aren't your typical estate houses. So there might be complex processes to go through to actually retrofit any measures to them. Now, hard to reach are people that might be minority speakers. They might be vulnerable, elderly. So it could be people living in rural areas that perhaps don't leave the house as much, or stay very much within small closed communities. So the idea of the tender is that we're going to be delivering face-to-face energy advice to people that fall into either one of those categories or potentially both. So we are going to have a mobile energy advice service. So that's what we've decided is our innovative angle to this, is that we've got a mobile energy advice pop-up service that can go anywhere. So the point is that we can start to scale this service. We're not just going into necessarily your small communities or your larger. We can do everything from small micro communities all the way through to huge areas, cities. So having this, we're calling it the beacon, really. It's like a beacon of energy advice, the hub of energy advice that's on wheels. So we're going to have materials in the back of the van to be able to show people what does external wall insulation look like? What does loft insulation look like? Can you just explain to me how a solar panel works? So our advisors are there to be able to demonstrate it and physically show people, look, this is what will happen and this is what it means to your home. So the idea is that we're going to be engaging with people within communities, so that might be in various different locations. We can have a schedule of locations and areas that we're going to be visiting. Probably going to be looking at that on a 3-month rolling basis. So we've got a really good plan ahead of what we're doing. And then people that perhaps are vulnerable or do need extra support, we're going to offer the opportunity to go out and see them in their homes, so we can really get them to understand exactly what it means to them and have a look at their home and understand how they're using their energy and what we can do to assist and advise. So it's going to be a very hands-on approach to delivering energy advice. The whole point is this face-to-face contact. That's going to be key to this. To achieve our net zero targets, we need to be delivering retrofit at scale. That's really important. And it's only through having initiatives such as this that we can do that. So the more companies that we've got driving the message, engaging with homeowners, then ultimately that's going to drive more awareness, it's going to drive conversions. People are then going to actually start acting on this and feel that it's part of their responsibility to improve their homes, lower their fuel bills, and the wider benefits that comes with. And really, it's only through initiatives like this that can happen. And I think the local energy advice demonstrator model that we're working to is wonderful, because it was a competition to come up with ways and innovative ways that we can engage and advise people on energy measures. So we're here to demonstrate and test how this works. This is a scheme to actually feed back to say, these are our barriers, these are our challenges, this is what's working brilliantly. And we're there to work with Midlands Net Zero Hub and DESNES to communicate those issues. And it's wonderful to do that, because as a commercial business, we already know some of the barriers that people face, because we're already experiencing that with the conversations our customer services team are having every day. However, being able to demonstrate it under this model is going to give us a real clear indication of what's working and what isn't. And if there are barriers and there are challenges, they need to be addressed, because the only way we're going to retrofit at scale is through addressing the challenges that we're going to be experiencing from that front end. You get that right, the rest should start to follow then.